self-conscious.
Oh yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Oh yeah.
It's the button next to the red disconnect button.
I don't mind doing that. No one else wants to. Well, let me just get the minutes document out.
I completely forgot to mute myself on stream. Sorry for folks on stream. Yeah, welcome to the February 2025 General Staff Meeting. It's not a very particularly exciting meeting today. We got the conductors and a couple of community issues to go through. But first, we need to choose where to do the GSM. And here we have, it was supposed to be GP, but based on what I've heard, that airport is still delayed. So we're going to use the spinny wheel to
the entire build team is developing ADHD issues.
Okay. So we're going to spin the wheel, and we'll see where it lands. Uh-oh. Does anyone know what this is? Hold on.
What's this?
Let's put a screenshot up.
Provincial Gwyneth Cynru. Something Wales.
Well, more questionably, where is that on the server? Because I don't know. Unfortunately, this is one that doesn't have a coordinate attached to it.
Do we know who suggested it?
I'll have to look it up.
There are no matches of Cymru on the wiki.
Yeah, it's a Nexurian build, apparently. Amber, do you know exactly where it is? Is it possible we could go there? Yeah, by the way, the wheel I'm spinning, you can see it on the Frumple TV stream, so I'm not streaming it in the Discord. Okay, if we don't know exactly where it is, I'm starting to think we need to respin the wheel.
Good idea.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna have to should have probably done it, but that's unfortunate. All right, so I'm going to respin it. Okay, so the one that's been chosen is M90, formerly known as D90 station.
The theme park that never got built.
Skelly, we've already chosen M90, so
Was the server lagging, or is that just my connection?
might be a connection.
Oh, no.
It did for me as well. So
9-second max. Ooh, it's a bit weird.
Oh, yeah, there was a little, there was a lag spike just now. Oh, the save just finished. Yeah, that happens. Okay, I'm not sure. So we're at M90 right now, but I'm not sure where you want to build or put the meeting. Possibly right in right here.
probably on the Brick Plaza. Seems.
Yeah, the Brick Plaza seems like a good spot. Right where I'm standing right now.
Mm.
Yeah, and there is no private portion for this meeting. All right. Okay, let's get this meeting started, or actual meeting. So we're going to go through 3 conductor applicants. The first one up is Oshawott 12. I'm going to randomize the staff list. I'm going to call on people for their vote. Okay, so first up is Needon, who I did not get an absentee ballot, so I think they are did not vote. Could you please not box me? Thank you. All right. Next is Hut, who is not here. Oh no, Hut is here.
What?
Vote. We're all voting on Oshawott 12. 12 now. Conductor. HVT, hello? HVT is voting for. Ginty is not here, but he did send an absentee ballot. Ginty has voted against. MBF is not here and has not submitted a absentee. Missa. This is neutral. Alpha?
I'm here.
Oh.
I'm here.
Oh, hi, MBF. Okay, what's your vote on Oshawott 12 for conductor?
Neutral.
Neutral? Okay. Alright, and then next is Alpha.
4.
Alpha's 4. Skelly. Skelly is 4. 7D had submitted an absentee ballot. They voted 4 for Asha. Sesh.
4.
Sesh is voting 4. Empolo not here, and I don't see an absentee ballot, so in that case, not there. And then Zooj also not here, and no absentee ballot. AP.
Neutral.
AP's voting neutral. Frozen. Frozen. Your vote, please. Hopefully you can see the transcript bot.
Or it's frozen on here.
Frozen is here, but he's
Oh, it's underscore.
reading
Yeah,
the
I found
he's
it.
reading the transcription. So I'm hoping the bot will.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't sure. I was trying to look for his username, but
Frozen's voting for. I am voting neutral. Foot is voting neutral. Vicky, not here and no absentee ballot. And then finally, DNA.
4.
DNA is voting for. One thing I realize is because we have so much more staff, it takes longer to go through this roll call. Three, four, five. Okay, so based on the count, I'm double checking here. It looks like it is currently 7 for, 5 neutral, 1 against, and 4 did not vote. So I'm going to read the absentee ballots. I guess I'll start with the against vote from Ginty. Ginty has said, I feel that Asha is not the most mature player, at least from the interactions I've had with them, and still doesn't have the level head I would expect from a good conductor. That's all they wrote. And 7D wrote, 4, strong knowledge of world edit from my experiences and willing to help the community. So I open the floor to everyone. Anybody from the who voted neutral or for here.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's really, I think Osher knows well edit quite well in my experience. I think there were a couple of concerns which were brought up. I can't remember when it was brought up about potential patience. Maybe Osher lacks a bit of patience sometimes. That was about a good couple of months ago that was brought up. I can't remember the context it was brought up in actually, but I think in my experience in recent months when I've been talking to Osher, I think I think they're willing to help the community and definitely know this stuff when it comes to well edit, which is enough for me to vote for. So.
I did. This was many months ago, but I think there was an incident with Osh and Tuck, I believe, where I think there was clearly a communication or miscommunication between them. I guess one of the concerns was, and Oshawa has been considered for conductor in the past, but there was a concern that they weren't communicating properly while doing a world, like trying to ask for a world edit, so it actually took longer than it should have.
Yeah, I think I remember that being brought up last time Osher applied for conductor. I was trying to remember where it had been brought up previously, but that must have been it.
Yeah. So for me, that's a little bit reason why I'm not voting for and I'm voting neutral here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, I didn't link the minutes document. I will fix that. Well, but yeah, if anyone else has any opinions, feel free to continue talking here.
Yeah, I think my experience is similar to DNA's in that the times I mean, this could be false memories for all I know, but the times that I think I've done well, it's with Osher. There's been a lot more fiction there than is ideal.
I think Oshabot would do fine at the job, but I'm just not confident, which is why it's not a 4.
Yes, usually at this point I would be probably leaning for or against, but I'm not changing my vote from neutral.
I've seen OSHA improve over the past few months, personally.
Yeah, I think I'm sort of echoing HBT. I don't really know how much some of you interacted with Osher, but I'd say I have noticed significant improvements when I've spoken to them in recent months. But I completely understand that not all of us have seen that. So
Yeah, I think I'm in the camp of I've not personally seen it, so I don't know. Okay, so right now as it stands, there is a majority in favor, so Oshawa would get promoted as the vote stands here. Does anyone have any further opinions or would like to change their vote at this point? I'm hearing the sound of silence, so I'm going to assume the votes are locked in here. So, based on this, 7 for, 5 neutral, 1 against, 4 did not vote. That does mean a promotion for Oshawa to conductor.
Yeah, if I was against them being conductor, I would have voted against, but yeah, it's maybe a note of communication, which is always a difficult thing. Believe me, I know.
DNA, do you want? Are you? What's the break for? Like right now? Is that what you're asking?
No, just after you've done voting, I need to let my dog in. So.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. We'll
Just
try.
after we've done all the conductor candidates, yeah, no rush.
Okay. Dude, I don't want to leave your dog outside.
He's coming. I need to close the door. Is really what I was saying. But
Oh, I see.
Thank you, Hutz. Yeah, I had the echo thing on my microphone set. I don't know why, but
All right. So congratulations to Oshawa. You have they have been promoted to conductor. Let's move on to the next applicant, and that would be Spigot. I'm going to randomize the staff list again. Okay, and I'm first. Okay, I'm going to be voting for. And then next is Vicky, who did not vote. Foot is next. Foot is voting for. Sesh.
I will be voting for.
Sesh is voting for. Skelly. Skelly's voting for. Zuj is not here. MBF. MBF. Nobody.
Sorry, who are we voting on again?
Spigot.
Oh, 4.
4. Okay. 70. Absent ballot says 4. And Polo's not here. Needon's not here. Alpha.
Also voting for.
Alpha's voting for. HVT.
4.
HVT's voting for. AP.
4
4. And
AP, then Ginty.
Ginty is voting. Oh, Ginty's absentee ballot says 4. DNA.
Yeah, 4 from me.
And Frozen. Oh, somebody else Frozen. Oh, Frozen said 4. And finally, Missa. I'm sensing a pattern here.
And Needham was DNV, is that correct?
Needon is DNV, yeah.
Okay.
It's basically 4 people are not here, so they did not submit it. Missa has voted 4. So, based on a vote of, well,
Everyone.
everyone's voting anyway. Do we need to discuss this? I don't know if there's really much to say here, unless people want to throw in some compliments or anything.
Yeah, good, great person to interact with. Is there any comments from 70s absentee?
Oh yeah, I should.
Anyone else?
Yeah. 70 wrote, former conductor and active enough. Actually, okay. And Ginty said, Spigot is an active, responsible, and mature player who engages in discussion and knows a world in it well. Beyond that, I and others have had many positive interactions with them. I believe conductor for Spigot is a well-deserved promotion. Okay. Seeing no other comment, I don't think anyone. I have to ask, does anyone want to change their vote? But I don't think so. So we're gonna promote Spigot to conductor. Congratulations, Spigot. And then our final conductor applicant is Lunarian Aperture. Let's randomize the list again. And first off is Missa. This is voting neutral. Alpha.
I'm gonna do a 4 for now.
A 4 for now. Okay. Alpha's voting for. DNA.
Yeah, 4.
DNA is voting 4. 7D has voted 4. Skelly. Skelly's voting 4. Okay, Zooj is here, but I'll figure it out in a sec.
Zoo just said 4 for both.
For both. Okay, sure.
Sorry, let
Skipping
me
ahead.
just change the one above.
Needon
Do we
has.
have a vote on Osher as well, or is that?
I'll get to Zooj. We'll get to Zooj in a sec. So Needon did not
No
vote.
question mark.
Zooj, are you voting for specifically for Lunarian Aperture? Is Zooj here? Zooj? Are you voting for everyone? Is that what you're saying? Technically, those votes have been completed, but okay, sure, whatever.
Hold on, give me a second then.
Okay.
Voter fraud on the MRT server. What is
Fraud!
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I'll revisit the counts after.
I don't think we've ever had a situation where someone's like jumped in middle of the vote and then changed it. It's kind of, I don't know how you handle that situation.
this?
If Zooj had voted neutral on or on Asha, that would screw things up. But okay, Dina, are you good?
Yeah, I'll come back and recount those in a second.
Okay, next up is Foot. Foot is voting neutral. Vicky's not here. I am voting neutral. Jinty is voting neutral. HVT.
Neutral.
HVT votes neutral. Sesh.
4.
Sesh is voting 4. Frozen. Frozen's voting 4. And Polo's not here. AP?
Neutral.
AP is voting neutral. And finally, MBF.
Neutral.
MBF's voting neutral. Let's take a look here.
It's 7 and 7 for 4 and neutral. I think.
I
If Paul's
believe
correct.
you're correct. Interesting. Okay, I'll read the absentee ballots here. 7D is voting 4. From my experiences, knows basic world edit. Also a desire to help people. And Jinty is neutral. I feel that while Lunarian is a fair and decent member of the community, I haven't seen much of them other than that. Therefore, I will vote neutral. So, any opinions in either camp, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think they're decently active player and pleasant interactions. So,
Personally, I'm a little concerned with their ability to like do world edit because I think for some of the world edits I've done for them, it's kind of ended up a little like not correct. I think, and they didn't. I don't know.
By you're not correct, do you mean like do you have to
Kinda
do you have to
filling in kind of like filling in a piece of land, but didn't know how to like prep the land beforehand.
Okay. Do you find you have to correct that stuff after, or do you just leave it, or what happens?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Are there questions on how, like, do they actually have? Do you feel like they have enough world edit knowledge? Because I'm just
I feel like it could be corrected.
Okay.
Just think of
That's why it's not against altogether.
yeah, with having access to World Edit directly, that can be a very good teacher of how to actually use it.
So I was asking, when you say you didn't prep the land correctly, do you mean like not knowing how to place points? I think it's directed to you, HPT.
It was like a little bit of, kind of like a little of both, yeah.
Okay. Any opinions from the 4 camp? Like anything we need to know about Lunarian? Okay. Any further opinions at all? Like, I will ask at this point if anyone wants to change their vote. So as a reminder, to get promoted, you need a more than 50% of the people voting for. Again, don't let this, just because it's on the edge right here, don't let that sway you too much. If it turns out that no one wants to change their vote, that is okay. It just means, there were enough concerns about that. So.
I mean, I could easily be persuaded. I just haven't heard anything persuading yet.
That's fair. I did ask the 4 people who voted for any further arguments, but I'm not hearing anything much. So.
I mean,
I will
for me,
say,
beyond just general pleasant interactions and what have you, I think. Yeah.
One thing I wanted to add, was I do like that they mentioned that they have an elementary knowledge of World Edit in their application, so at least it does demonstrate that they are aware of their skill level and that they are willing to learn. It's not just like, they believe they're very good.
Based on what I'm reading in chat, Yuri and Radiant have brought up some respect the landscape concerns with I'm assuming Lunarian's town specifically. So I'm not sure if that is being taken into account of this vote here. Okay, so I'm going to ask one more time. Would anyone like to change their vote at this time? If not, then we are going to go ahead and say that Lunarian does not get promoted here based on the vote as it stands. Okay, I'm hearing nothing, so therefore the vote stands. Will be standing at 7-4, 7 neutral, 3 did not vote. Therefore, Lunarian unfortunately does not get promoted to conductor based on this. Yeah, it was very close.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's a little bit concerns with World Edit knowledge. All right. So moving on to the next.
Can we take a quick 5-minute break?
Okay, actually, well, yeah, go ahead, DNA. But Skelly just brought up something which, Skelly, I did ask for people to, if they wanted to change their vote. If you felt like that was too quick, we could revisit that, if you would like. I think I would say if you're in the middle of typing, you should just type something like say hold up and then like type something, because I don't know whether you're typing or not. That's the problem. So, do you want to change your vote to neutral, because that will change the result. I want you to vote like what you truly feel, if that's what you think. Okay. So yeah, so sorry about this, but so due to miscommunication, I think I will honor Skelly's change to a vote to a neutral there, if that is what he desires. I would rather the votes reflect the actual staff opinions rather than based on a technicality, because I didn't know that Skelly wanted to post that opinion. So I'm going to be so based on that, Skelly's vote will be changing to neutral on Oshawa. Which actually doesn't change the result of his promotion, because Zuj barged in and changed it, like voted for after the fact, which I will honor as well. So the final vote for Oshawa then becomes 7-4, 6 neutral, 1 against, 3 did not vote. So that is still a promotion, or no, sorry, no, that is not a promotion. That's my I'm going to correct that. That is not a promotion, because that is not a majority of 4 votes there. Okay. Okay. Again, if you guys are typing in for the staff here, if you're typing in chat, if you are intending to change your vote, please just type something short so I know to stop. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep. If I don't hear anything, I'm just gonna go assume that no one's changing their vote here. So, okay, Skelly, you're changing your vote to neutral as well. Is that correct? Okay. Okay, so therefore, just to re-clarify, Oshawa does not have enough votes to be promoted. Okay, do we need to have another? Do we need to have a continued debate about Oshawa based on this now, or that? Because Zuj, I can understand that he wants to argue in favor, but do you staff feel like we should be discussing Oshawa more, or do we want to move on from this? Yes, Oshawa is unfortunately not being promoted.
Sorry, can I ask? Did we change the vote then?
Yeah, I did. I just did it. So Skelly's changing from 4 to neutral, which changes the vote to 7-4, 6 neutral, 1 against. That's not enough. Yeah, it was a last minute vote change based on a miscommunication, because I did not know that he was typing a vote change before I closed the vote. So again, I'm asking staff, do we want to discuss Oshawa more here, or do we want to close this off?
Personally, I don't have anything to say, so...
Okay. I'm asking this in case there's any further vote changes, given this. I'm also scared to close this vote in case there's anyone having any last minute typing or anything. I'll wait, or maybe not. Okay. Okay, I'm not hearing anything. I'm not seeing anyone type. So therefore, I'm going to close the vote again on Oshawa 12. Oh, Skelly is saying he's sticking with his neutral vote. Okay, so let's close this vote on Oshawa. Vote is staying neutral. Seems like people are not convinced either way in this case, so yeah. Okay, so unfortunately, so that means the conductor that's being promoted from this meeting is only Speckett, unfortunately. So All right. Let's move on to the community issues. AP, this is your topic. First off, with regards to allowing old usernames to be removed from the member list and other staff documents by request. How about you take it away?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, we've got, obviously, by nature of the server, a lot of the members have usernames that they would rather forget, or have, regrets, or would rather not be in a fairly prominent public place. And so I'm proposing as it says on the agenda, removing old usernames from the public documentation. If there's, well, yeah, if generally what requests there are. That was not grammar. Yeah, not to, obviously not to use any actual examples, but like we have a lot of trans members on the servers whose username reflects a dead name, and from what I can tell, based on what's been said in the forum post, a lot of members would rather have those names removed. You know, it seems a fairly reasonable courtesy for us to do it. I'll also admit there's a bit of a selfish aspect for it for myself, but again, that's similar aspect.
I wouldn't call it selfish. I think it would be the motive. I think your desire, AP, to remove your old username was the motivation for this topic. So, I can see there's another example, not just for the trans folks, but some there. I don't know if anybody has had this experience, but some Minecraft players might have made their account using their real name. I've seen it before a few times, and then they change it later, but that old username might still be appearing on some docs and stuff. It's also one of the reasons why Mojang's API has actually, they don't allow you to look up such usernames to protect that personal information. So, yeah. That would be another good example.
Also, putting us in, arguably keeping those old usernames and not allowing them to be removed might put us in breach of GDPR and other similar data protection regulations.
Yeah, that would be a thing.
Yeah, I think generally I'm in favour of doing that. I think we've spoken about it before, AP, a couple of times about just general GDPR stuff as well. I think my only thing I would say is I'm wondering how, in terms of how we actually go about implementing it, I'm wondering if it may be better if we look at solving some of the staff news issues or current staff news doc changes before we actually implement the change.
Is there
to know what we need to change when it comes to it?
Is there a reason? I guess I'm just not following. Is there a specific reason why we want to do it? Because can we just go with possibly a temporary solution just to store if we remove these old usernames, we store that information privately in our staff docs, right? And then that could be a temporary solution until we get I guess my point is, instead of delaying a possible solution, well, why not just put in a temporary solution for now, just to allow people to do this for now.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you want to look at doing that, I do think we're going to need to have a way for members to look up older usernames. I don't know if you saw the discussion in the thread. We said allowing players to look up someone's new username from their old username, but not the other way around. I think we have to look into setting up a document to do that with.
Okay.
I mean, my main worry is, well, not really a worry, but having to go back through the past year's staff news documents since we made it public. I think it was at the start of 2024, I believe that was. If we went ahead with the staff news changes now, we'd be able to, completely skip that. But if you want to do a temporary document, that's fine as well. But I do think in terms of the actual implementation, when we do come to the staff news changes, we do want to look at that because we might be able to set up a couple of things with scripts to automate username removal and whatnot. So,
actually, maybe I am jumping ahead here. I guess this is also to you, AP. How urgent is this change? Like, is it possible, based on what DNA seems to be hinting at, is it possible to just delay this until we do this whole staff news revamp thing? Or do you want this available as soon as possible, basically?
Reasonably speaking, as soon as possible. I don't... In terms of technically removing usernames from the docs, from the staff docs, there's always the option to do that manually for the now. And frankly, that's a responsibility I'd be willing to take on myself for the sake of getting it done.
Okay.
Just kind of any old usernames, replacing them with the most current up-to-date username.
yeah, I was going to say, I wonder how possible it would be for us to just say that anyone who wants it done now can request it and then get to all of the other players later on.
Get to all. What do you mean by get to all the other players later on?
So obviously we have over 1,000 members. So would it be better if we just sort of said, if you want to have your data removed now, we could, you can submit a request and we could go through and do that to the existing documents, and then only do the rest of the changes for all the other 1,000 members we have when we come to do the staff news changes and whatnot.
Well, okay, just to
remove the.
So just to be clear, what this top, like, originally AP was asking for all former usernames to be removed, but the compromise I proposed was just make it so that it's voluntarily by request. For those that want to have their former usernames removed, they can ask staff for it. But the majority of all the former usernames will basically be untouched. They won't be changed. Just to make that very clear here.
Which is the kind of solution in the proposal, and the one I'm most in favour of, as it stands.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you, DNA? Or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I will say is, if we, again, talking on the big if, we don't 100% know what's happening with the staff news docs, but if we do end up going through and implementing a script, I don't really see why we should keep the odd names. Like, we may as well go through and just do it for everybody then and there.
I think a lot of people might disagree with you on that on DNA, because I did see in the thread that there were some people who still, it was very useful for them to look up these former usernames because there's, old builds, old assets, that sort of thing. So I think there's some discussion.
Yeah, I did see that, and
yeah,
I think, again, this is once we've got everything working, I think it would probably be feasible to have a way for people to look up people's current usernames from their old ones, but not the other way around. And I think that is sort of hypothetical, 6 months down the line kind of thing, but in the long run is what I'm saying.
Okay, it's a little bit unclear to me, DNA. Like, based on how I'm imagining it, their former usernames right now, they're stored in the member list. There's some other locations as well, but based on what that information needs to be available, right? We can change it however we want when staff news comes on, but as long as it's clear that those former usernames are available publicly and easy to find as well. Like, am I making sense here? I'm a little confused of what we're discussing here, because
I'm just saying that I do think we should actually remove old usernames for all players. Just for probably got quite a few members who are inactive and aren't actually aware of these changes, who might want their usernames changed. I am talking hypothetical 6 months down the line when we have the systems in place to be able to do like a reverse lookup script or some sort of similar solution.
And I think I would disagree with that, and I think some of my members might disagree with that too, because again, in terms of ease of, I don't know what that script will be, but in terms of ease of use, having those former usernames on the dock there that's the easiest. That's the most accessible way of getting that information, right? So
Yes, I'm sort of coming at this from the perspective of if we do want to go along with GDPR and stuff and make sure we're 100% compliant, I do think we should be making these changes for players who have gone inactive for, say, 8 years and don't know their usernames are still publicly accessible on the server.
The problem is GDPR. I feel like we're maybe confusing because just GDPR, is that considered personally identifiable information, a username, a Minecraft username?
I was going to say,
Yes,
have
I
we?
think they are
Is that
on
actually
GDPR.
relevant to us?
Yeah, I don't. From what my understanding of definition of personally identifiable, we're getting a little into the weeds here, but personally identifiable information is like their IRL real name, their address, their phone number, like those sort of things. A Minecraft username. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but I feel like that doesn't apply.
I think it is still though, because it's I can quickly search it up. Actually, I think I did look into this a bit a couple months ago. Yeah, I think it's because it's still sufficient to identify them, because it uniquely identifies that individual as what a brief Google search says. But yeah, I think what you're saying in terms of how urgent it is, I don't think it's particularly urgent, so it can be looked at in the future. But I would be in favour of removing all old usernames, personally.
Okay, based on what I'm reading in chat, it doesn't sound like it's like I can see some opinions saying they don't want that.
I will say, from the Katie's concern of finding an old build and not having the old username there, like, I don't think I agree with having the possibility of automatically searching through and finding someone's new username from an old one, considering that could fairly easily be abused. So if someone's just got a snapshot of an old GSM transcript, whatever else, sorry, the old recordings, finding what are all these people's current usernames. Granted, that's an unusual case. That's a bit of a contrived case. But having that kind of lookup needing to be done by a staff member manually means it can't be abused. The staff member can effectively say, "Yo, this is taking the mickey a little bit. This is going beyond what is reasonably required."
And of course, there's the cost of this is adding a little bit of a tiny amount of bureaucracy, and that's the staff have to take some time to look that up for a person. So
yeah,
I
but
mean, so
a little
my
bit
thing
of
is
your
the wiki. I think would be probably one of the larger sources of username lookup requests.
yeah. So maybe I'm not arguing. I'm just bringing this up. It's a cost. It's not. I'm not saying I'm against that. It's just I'm just noting that it is something we have to keep in mind. So.
Yeah, I mean my thing is I can't personally foresee a situation where someone would need to look up someone's old username from their new one. So,
I don't think we would need that way around. Would not be necessary.
There is one. Okay, hold on. Turn up the goddamn volume, Jesus Christ. There's one scenario that and it has happened before on the server, like someone stalking someone on the server, and it could necessarily be. Fortunately, it's only been like guests stalking members. It's not been like someone becoming a member and then trying to stalk them because of some past thing. But I could see that a scenario as someone who wants to try to look up if that person was on the server or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe is this a discussion that we should have? I think go forwards of implementing the temporary username removal or whatever, and maybe removing everyone's old usernames. Is that a discussion for down the line when we've got everything set up properly and we know what the situation is with the documents?
Yeah, let's separate it out. Just for the short term, just to solve the privacy concerns of people. We should allow for a process for them to request the removal of the usernames. I'm also curious. I would also be curious of how many people do actually request it, because I don't. Obviously, AP would be one, but I don't know if there are any others. If it turns out there's a large demand for it, then that might affect our decision later down the line.
Yeah, even if we do go down the line of, even if we do end up going to removing absolutely everything, absolutely all the old usernames, we'd still have that way of looking it up. We'd still have that private document, or whatever however we decide to implement it down the line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe we should, just be giving out what the new username is from the old one, just in every single case. I do believe there should probably be some sort of justification for it, even if it's, I found this sign in a town that says this player. I'd like to know who they are now. But that's a more kind of minor thing.
Yeah, I guess discussion for the future of that issue, I suppose.
But for the time being, just keeping the former usernames, field in the doc.
Okay.
Having that private document accessible to staff only of this is every redacted former username. Yeah, that's still not fantastic, but it allows it keeps it out of the public view,
Which is the important part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it looks like we're going to go ahead with this. One thing I don't think we've decided, at least is it just internally from the staff docs, what kind of document is it? Is it just a simple Word document, or is it going to be like a spreadsheet? Like what kind of? I'll probably go create the document after this GSM, but I'm just wondering what kind of format we should be going with in storing this information. Spreadsheet, okay.
Don't really see the advantage of spreadsheet, but compared to just being a normal sheet a la the current staff docs. But ultimately it just has to be list of username, former usernames. But if we decide spreadsheet's the best thing for that, then fair enough.
Do you
Don't really see the advantage, but
Oh, sorry.
What?
I forgot I was still on voice activity.
Okay. The one thing I just thought, one thing, do we want to note in that spreadsheet, this new spreadsheet, if the staff member has, how do I say this? Have they combed through all the docs to remove that username? I think that makes sense. Like how do we track how has someone, or do we just assume that? Do we just assume that if the username shows up on that sheet, that means a staff member has looked through the docs and said, "Yep, I've cleaned it up."
I mean, do we have a list of all public records somewhere?
Pretty much. Most of the top level docs, they have in the title it says public, so that you can assume those are publicly available. There might be a couple here and there, but those
City ranks, that kind of thing. I don't know if we read the archives as well.
Yeah, the city ranks is probably the more difficult part, because that's a lot there. But
and I guess do we need to? We probably won't need to remove them in game, do we? Or hashtag more. So.
In games, the
MRT stations.
that one's harder too, because how do you search for that? That's not searchable. So that's going to be. Let's try to keep the scope limited. We're just focusing on the staff docs, the publicly available staff docs, as much as we are able to. In game, that can always be corrected on its own as people see them. So.
yeah, and also you can search through the staff docs. I know ironically for Google, the search system isn't fantastic, but you can search through the staff, the entirety of the staff docs to go, does this username appear anywhere? And ideally, the former username shouldn't appear anywhere in any of the public docs.
Yeah, and I guess again, when we do come to hopefully redoing those documents, we can, have a more formalised process of doing all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
automating,
As for how we want to allow people to request the username removal, I do think we should just allow a generalization, just a general thing of, if someone says, "Oh, I want all my former usernames before Fubarius to be removed," then that we on that, because there's the obvious problem if somebody says, "I want my former username bar Fuius to be removed." Well, that's Barbara Streisand it, frankly.
Yeah, I think such requests usually. I would say email's probably even better because then it doesn't show up in request to staff. In future, we could make a dedicated form, Google form for it too. So.
I do have a. I think I talked about this in the discussion post, but I'm just wondering, like, what exactly is the scope of the public documents that we're gonna that we will remove usernames from? Because as it stands right now, it's just all public documents, which seem to imply like all previous stop meeting documents and city rank voting documents and all that stuff.
Yeah. So do we want to just for clarity, do we want to list out all of the docs that we that would be basically touched if that's such a request, or they have not touched, inspected for those names?
So I think could we just put a list on the actual document where we're processing these changes as well, just right at the top.
Or you could add it to the minutes right now, just so we don't forget too. So.
Well, I mean, on the.
So, based on what my understanding, it's any public doc in the top level of the staff docs. These docs would also be in the information channel in the Discord. So, member list, obviously, town list has a lot of members in there. MRT station list, Map World Library Index. Does that have members in it? Okay, maybe not the Map World Library Index because it's kind of, there's not that much personal, like I don't see that many usernames in that one, so maybe that can be skipped.
What? Is staff news public? I can't remember.
Staff news is sorry, I forgot staff news. Yeah, that's definitely public. A and B road list, definitely. Central City Buildings Directory, definitely. Conductor moderator voting records, sure, but probably less likely because you'd have to be a former staff or conductor. Well, nah. Actually, no. Yeah, actually, that would be included because there are actually a lot of conductors.
Yeah. Event funding.
Yes, there are usernames in there. And then all previous city rank votes, which are public.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one way it might be a lot more difficult to do, just to find and replace there, because somebody might say, congratulations, Fu. Congratulations, Fu. I'm happy with this town. But I think that will just be a case of case by case by case.
Does poker? Oh, not poker. Sorry, I've just seen the poker documents. I read that. That's also another one.
Yeah, that's my doc. So
you can search through Google Drive at the top, and it does show you all the documents which contain that text.
Yeah, AP just mentioned that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
right.
I feel that's probably slightly less cumbersome. That's it. It's slightly less cumbersome than trying to list out every doc.
Station list.
Okay, what else is there? The
If I've missed
trustee.
anything as well, just feel free to change that.
Oh, sorry. Okay. What other? What was the? There was another category of public docs. I think someone mentioned.
There's also like the all the GSM meeting agendas, minutes, and nomination documents.
Okay, so that one, yeah. And the good thing about that one is those are only public since late 2020. So at least the scope for that is a little less. But yeah.
What about band members?
What about them?
What if they have a name that they don't want on the on public view?
They
I
could
don't-
technically they could request it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they could like email.
Yeah. Fortunately, I've not, in the many years I've run the server, I've not come across that sort of request, or actually even any sort of GDPR related request. I hope I never have to, because I think it would be a pain in the ass, because there's also the server logs, which I'd be like, I think I would argue, I don't know, again, I don't know GDPR law, but I think I would argue that's also not public information, but I don't think we would need to remove such information there.
The wiki as well, I suppose.
Oh, the wiki.
And just keep our fingers crossed we don't get one for a while.
Okay. So, I think it was a good idea to list all this, because now we can. I think we have a better sense of what the scale of this is, if such, even just for removal of a username or old username. So it is a lot of work.
Yeah, I think that's why I initially in the discussion post I was more in favor to just removing the names from some of the most searched documents rather than every historical document, like unless the name's like really sensitive.
Yeah, but I guess the point that would work for the most common cases, but again, the point of this request is to protect someone's privacy, and even one little leak could violate that privacy technically. So
Yeah, if somebody's bound and determined to, they can just look up old meeting audio even.
that too, and that one is not easily. You can't clean that up.
Not really.
Yeah.
Just to be fair, like if someone really wants to look up to, they can just look up on Wiki, Discord search, or even game log. So there isn't like really a complete way to like stop them from looking at that.
But if we can at least, yeah, it's not going to be able to get everything, and I think just in terms of scope for the staff, we control the staff docs, so at least that is something that we're responsible for. The wiki, I would say, is anyone can edit it, so the person who's making the request or other people even could help with that. So I would say staff aren't responsible for that part. We would ask
Unless they're banned, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a lawyer, really.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway.
have you seen how much debt the server's in?
We need someone on the staff team.
We did
Free labour.
a long time ago, but yeah. Okay, so given this, are people still okay with just going along with the original proposal, which is just, yeah, we're going to. I think the best we can say is staff will make a best effort to try to remove usernames on request. It's not going to get everything, because we're human. We're not going to get all the documents. There's a lot of them, especially the city rank ones. But we will make a best effort to remove the usernames, at least from the most common documents. Hello?
thank you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. I find it hard because when no one says anything, I'm like, did I say something wrong? Like, are people agreeing or disagreeing? I don't understand.
Though perhaps a little bit of a PSA, if you do request a username removable, pretty please make sure to like change all the signs, even on your obscure assets, just so that way. Hi, Shanna. Just so that way, if somebody like needs like to go through a town, you get the point.
I think someone who would make their request would if their concern is privacy, they would also make their own effort to do it. So I think that's a given. We are just talking. Yeah, we're talking about staff dogs here. That's the part that they don't have. They can't edit, but we can.
Vicky, can you remind your dog that they are not a staff member and therefore should not be contributing to the GSM?
Give your dog a biscuit, and that will send a message.
Trust me, it would definitely not be a permanent solution problem.
Okay, I know. Okay, so Skelly, what is this? Actually, would we be willing to re-delete old revisions on the wiki if someone requests to hide a username?
That's a difficult one because that's a lot of history that we lose.
It's also yep. Oh, go ahead, AP.
It's a lot more searchable though.
Is it?
The revisions. I don't think the revisions are suitable. Are searchable.
The revisions, you can delete certain revisions, but
Okay,
you
if-
have to go into each revision manually.
If somebody's looking into revisions and stumbles across somebody's dead name, I think that we can clearly say that that's malicious intent and then just ban them.
If that is what they were doing, yes. But yeah. I will also add, the media wiki, the software we use for the wiki. I don't think it's easy to delete revisions en masse. I think there are scripts out there, but it's not easy. It's not easy. So, how about
I'm not actually sure how much we need to do that legally speaking. So obviously it's public domain. I don't know how Wikipedia handles it, but
yeah, they probably it's probably fair they've probably had to deal with that before. But I will say I think it's a case by case basis thing. If someone does request, then we can deal with it at that point. But yeah, I don't think it's worth speculating right now about it.
So I'll put the idea out there.
Okay.
I think I would agree with Skelly.
I have a couple of questions regarding how we're gonna implement the deletion itself. So, for the former username columns, when we remove a username, we just delete it, just pretend it didn't exist, or say replace it with something that just that indicates that there used to be a former username there.
I think I saw this discussed in the thread. I think it also depends on the document alpha, because for the member list, I can see that one you can just remove. I think it's fairly safe to just remove the username there. But for something like the city rank vote, how would you delete if it was a staff member voting, or if it was the person being voted on, their city or being voted on? What would be written there? Sorry, what was that, MBF?
Just replace the name.
Is that what they want, though? I guess is the question.
I don't see any other solution.
There might be some other, another solution might be to say redacted or something else. That is another solution.
That's just asking for somebody to go try and find what the old name was.
Whereas if it's a current username, that's not going to be questioned.
Yeah, I think I agree. Just replace it with the newest username. To be honest.
Yeah, if somebody's looking through the old documents and sees, a vote on the Catania vote for senator, that says KT1231 on it. Oh, that's a person who's on the server very often. They're not going. I doubt it's going to occur to them of, that person used to have other usernames. Sorry, Katie, name out of a hat.
Okay, so we can replace it with their new username. Does that satisfy your question, Alpha, or was there a scenario you were thinking of that maybe that might
Yeah,
work?
I think it does. Just like I'm just wondering what we would replace it for. But I still have like another question about the implementation, and it's like if we're removing stuff docs entries, what happens if we encounter like a username change entry? Like, do we just remove it? And if we do should we record it in our private document?
I'd say it should be recorded in the private document because it's a again I look at staff log news as a log. If there's a log entry that says a username's change, all we're changing it from is from a public doc to a private doc. So at least in the private doc, we still have a record of, yes, they changed their name on this date. Is that good?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just that we need to remember to do that when we actually delete the username.
Yeah, we might have to document a procedure for doing all this too, which I know I know it might be tedious, but considering how many docs this touches and things we have to make sure that to keep, yes. So I think if the procedure just simply said, as an example, in most cases for usernames, replace it with the new username. For the member list, in that case, just remove them from the former usernames call. For the staff news, move any username changes to this document. I think that it's just a step-by-step sort of process.
Oh, and I guess one last thing, for the staff news document, is it only that after 2024 that they're public?
At the moment, yes. I think there was some discussion about publicizing earlier ones, but I don't think that's really gone hasn't moved anywhere. Also, DNA is working on revamping the whole staff news thing, so that would have to be taken into account.
Yeah, I guess I'll say the plan with that is to have it so that username changes can be just as simple as like pressing a button and having it change everything automatically. But yeah, when we get there,
yeah,
that would be nice.
Like
it would be nice if we had a thing of when a city gets promoted or whatever else, it updates all the docs in one go. But that's not what we have at the minute.
Jinty's asking, would there be a guide doc for new staff for dealing with username protection? I think we need a tutorial doc for this. So, yeah, we need a documentation. We need a documentation for the process of, again, a step-by-step guide of what to do when such a request happens. Okay, so in terms of action items. I'll make a document for the private document to contain this information. These are former usernames and logs. Does anyone want to take up writing that guide? Perhaps, because I don't necessarily have to be the one to make it.
I don't mind doing it if we want someone to do it.
Okay. And in AP, I'm assuming you would be the one to go through. Well, you're going to go through that process for yourself at the very least, but maybe also. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind being like supervisor for it per se.
or more like if there are any other requests coming in, maybe you would be the one to do that, or at least maybe, or even teach other staff to do it. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, this is something I wouldn't mind being responsible for personally, frankly.
Okay. Okay, is that good? I think we covered. Anything, other questions, comments, concerns? Also 40 people on the server? What the fuck? Wait, what the hell? I don't remember. I don't remember the last time we hit limit. At least the server's not blowing up. That's a good. But I think most people.
It looks like if someone wants to quit or join.
Yeah. Do I could up to, again, 40 is a very arbitrary limit, so I could up it to 50 next. At some point the server might fall over, but I don't know. But I think
we could put it back up to 60 like it used to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll consider that later on then. I think the TPS, the performance is also very dependent on where people are. I think considering that it's a GSM, most people are probably doing shenanigans at the GSM location, so that helps a lot. If it was like 40 people spread all over the server, and especially in laggy parts, we would be having issues right now. So. Oh, and he has to save too. He's gonna fuck things up. Anyway, sorry. Let's move on to 5B, unless there's anything else.
Hi.
Hello, Vicky.
Hi.
Unfortunately, Vicky, you know what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna give. You. This is your topic, so you take it away.
Yeah, I already know what you're gonna say, and it's probably gonna get delayed. But roads being completely unmanaged at all, and just being, or not necessarily unmanaged, but like roads being like A roads in particular having like no, basically sorry, I'm like still tired. A roads basically having like being completely owned by the server and anyone being able to do anything with them, basically it that has caused problems and kind of interferes with people's visions of their roads, which roads are hard to build, right? So, and it's like it causes a lot of like low quality stuff. So basically this is to do something about it. My proposed solution in this post is to basically have a maintainer, which basically functions as like a sort of 500 block rule, sorta, where it's like you have to like notify and you could work together on it. That's basically it.
Okay, so in the discussion of the thread, the main thing that is not jiving with me, but with this, like I understand Vicky's concerns and wanting to improve the quality of the roads. My issue is mainly the amount of bureaucracy this is going to add, because specifically that we're basically going to assign a maintainer for each A road, and that means keeping track of it and you have to deal with transfers, and then there's also questions like, oh, what if there are two A roads connected to each other? Who's the maintainer there? And all this sort of stuff. So my counter proposal, though I did not flesh it out, it's just an idea at this time. It's if considering that there's not that many people, but there are a few people who are road enthusiasts on the server, and I was wondering if it would be better if there was like a dedicated council of sorts of road maintainers who would in general be responsible for, making sure roads meet standards and and quality standards and all that sort of stuff. But what I did not flesh out is how do you choose who gets on the council? How do they what are their responsibilities? What can they do? Can they go around proposals, perhaps, like those sort of questions that I don't know. So basically, I'm trying to find a solution that goes around bureaucracy here, or let's make this less bureaucratic. So, MBF, you were going to say something?
It feels like oligarchy, introducing people that can build roads and people who can't.
Is that the case though? Because we're not. People can still propose roads, right?
Pothole oligarchy.
Oh, okay. I guess the question is because so I haven't fleshed it out. I did ask in the thread if anyone had any ideas of how that would work, or again, if anyone else has any other third idea, like other ideas other than mine and Vicky's of how to solve this problem. That's also a possible option as well.
I'm not quite sure because people are protective of their A roads and B roads to an extent, which is fine. Like I've been in that situation of having built an A road and a very low quality interchange being built onto it. In that case, I worked with the person who originally built that not great interchange and improved it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't necessarily agree with having a council that can just go around, the proposals process. Yeah, that does seem to go a little bit. It goes against the whole ethos of us not having these hierarchies on the server as much as possible.
Sure. Again, I only floated that idea because that has a possibility. I'm not saying that should be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, what's been going on fairly recently with some rebuilds of interchanges through the proposals, it may be just a case of we normalise that. We normalise people proposing roads changes, and even if the justification for it generally is this is a low quality interchange and we wish to improve it.
Okay. I'm seeing a side conversation in chat regarding... I'm guessing Katie is in favor of Vicky's proposal, but Frozen's arguing against it in the case of what if players are inactive? Like if a road maintainer goes inactive. That's that sort of thing.
Do we need a deputy maintainer?
I would rather
No.
not. Please no. God.
My point would be if the maintainer goes inactive, then it's like there's not even a maintainer.
I guess here's a question, Vicky. Like I'm reading what Cody's saying about the recent interchange work. Is the current process what's the word? Is it kind of blocking you from making road changes in the sense that you have to, if you wanted to improve the quality of, say, an A road, you'd always have to make a proposal every time? Is that why you want the maintainer instead? Is that what you're trying to do, or?
Not necessarily a proposal, it's just working together just to make sure that like everything to make sure that like just like work with them. That's it. Not necessarily a proposal, but just having like just working together. Just so like everyone will be happy.
So let's flesh out this process. So as a road maintainer, you can't go through, you can't bypass the proposals process But if wait, how would that make any sense? I'm trying to think of a scenario where, let's say you are the road maintainer of an A road, and then someone else proposes another A or B road that connects to it. I guess the role of the maintainer would to ensure that the interchange or whatever is not crap. Is that basically it?
Kinda.
Okay. But arguably also, like, you know, if we're going with my council idea, that could be the same thing. It's just that there's no specific maintainer on the road. It's more like there's a group of people who are sort of like keeping an eye on those sort of things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there's a lot of discussion in chat. I'm just going to quickly read through these. If anyone brings about any other opinions, please go ahead.
I think I'm still I like Vicky's proposal a little bit more. I think like one thing about the council is, okay, if we have like a few people on the council, and what if they have like different opinions, or perhaps the original rule builder who isn't in the council don't really agree with the proposals of the council, because, well, everyone has like different standards and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah. To be honest, actually, Vicky, I'm not sure if you noticed this. I did notice PTLD had some perhaps differing opinions from yours when it came to roads. I could see that if you, or maybe if someone else, like, or anyone else was on there, that possibility could come up, right? The council could not agree on what the standard should be, right?
Yeah.
And reasonable minds can differ. That's the thing. It's like again, using my own thing, I think A-roads should probably have 4 wide lanes. That makes for more realistic interchanges and curves and general building. But that doesn't mean going through. That doesn't mean I believe every road project should go on that standard. That's just what I use.
Yeah.
But that's looking at it optimistically, which I'm aware is not how it's going to be.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm actually getting less and less favor of my own council idea based on these concerns, but my concern of Vicky's idea still stands. Like, I'm not a fan of the bureaucracy this is going to add, because now we have to have another staff document listing all of who's the maintainer, and then we have to deal with changes of maintainers and all that sort of stuff. Like, I really wish there was like another third option. It doesn't necessarily have to be made at this GSM. We could defer this topic, but I just really do not like the idea of adding another layer of bureaucracy here. So,
I mean, it would just be like another column.
Yeah, but then we've got the thing of, look at the A8. That goes all the way out from Central City out to Bristol. And it's got about 6 different sections that were built at different times. The way road document is built at the minute, that's not really sufficient. Just to add another column to say.
That is fair. And I have like thought about like roads that have like different sections before and how it would work. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anything good.
So I'm hearing some interesting opinions. Fred is saying it feels like this might make it more difficult to get roads built. To be very clear, Vicky's proposal is only on A roads. B roads are not. They're not included in this, correct, Vicky? Just to be very clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, again, as someone who's not a road person at all, I'm just looking. I don't know about. I can't really comment on the road standards, but I'm just more of a case of given of all the things that we just discussed this about staff news, like all the things we have to keep track of, and to be fair, like some stuff in staff news, staff do forget to. Even myself will forget to track them in staff news or on documents like the member list or the town list or the road list. So by adding more stuff, it's going to increase the chance that we're going to miss that as well. And yeah, and you also know me, like this would also probably require some more entries in the policies and procedures page or the rules page. It's too long right now. I really want to give an effort to try to reduce that when we can. But I guess that's the thing with running a community like this. There's so many little things.
Yeah, as we go through this and looking through the chat, I'm not actually in favour of having a maintainer, an official maintainer for roads. I do. It's another layer of bureaucracy to say, oh, if somebody wishes to connect to an area, they have to go through this specific person who may or may not be active. It's a lot more friction, and yeah, in an ideal world, the person who built the road or whatever else would have some standards set or some kind of things to say, this is how we want it to be, and this is how an interchange should be built, but that's not realistically going to happen.
So I just had a thought. So normally when it comes to these sort of things, I tend to favor more proactive things, this is kind of, Vicky and my proposal are kind of on that side. I'm kind of wondering if this is one of those situations where we need to take a more reactive approach. Say we just allow people to build roads as normal as they are, but if we see roads that are not great, should we just allow people to come in and say, oh, let's fix up this interchange? Kind of like a little bit what Cody and Narnia and Moj are doing, in a sense, and some other people as well. Do we just want to say, okay, we see a road that's not great, we can rebuild it. We can make them better. We have the technology. Like, is that Yep. Oh, go ahead, Vicky.
That'll work.
Yeah, I'd be in full favour of
that. Not necessarily, Fred, because maybe there's been a sort of, I don't want to say like hesitation to make those changes, because to be fair, like some other person's built this road or interchange, and then you're coming in and trying to like do it, and that person may not necessarily be active or inactive. So it does kind of feel like, I can understand someone feeling like, oh, I'm kind of redoing their work, and I might not be respecting their work, if that makes sense. So if people are okay with like just people doing that, or basically make it more okay, then we could just go with that. I don't know if what I just said is something that people have considered, like, feeling like they're like destroying someone's road project because it's not great. not the quality that matches the rest of the server, perhaps. Why are people saying Coconut Mall?
Note block version of Coconut Mall is playing at the GSM.
Oh, okay, good. I don't know that because I have turned off my sound. Frozen. That's. I'm basically asking that. I'm asking, is that something that people would be okay with? Like, essentially, the solution, the resolution of this topic would be basically just a encouragement or reminder that if you see a road that isn't quite up to standard, you can propose it. and maybe it might be an indication we're kind of hinting at staff here at the meeting, or in general, like if you see such a proposal, perhaps be a bit more approving of that, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add in here. Well, I'm not. Well, of course, it won't be required. For like stuff like if you like link have to do stuff to like the A92 or something, please let me know. I will work with you, but please let me know. Pretty please with this sugar on top, cherry in the middle.
Cody does bring up. My impression is this proposal asks you to also reach out to the original builder as part of the proposal. Here's a question: is the original builder for roads, is that easily accessible information? Is that on the road list?
I think it is.
Okay.
But there's not a connection between who built what segment.
Yeah, that's pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't necessarily. Yeah, I don't think B roads should go through A roads, B roads, etc. I don't think roads should go through IATs, frankly. Although, if somebody wishes to put if we've not got the maintainership, then there's not really need to go. Transfer this because the buildership is a constant. It's not going to have changed for a given segment.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, we're probably not going to have like anything solid this GSM. So if somebody wants to propose that like next time or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going nowhere slowly.
Well, no, I think there is something that we got out of this GSM. It's just...
Or nothing like really concrete, rather.
Well, even a suggestion, just a reminder to staff to be a little more open to these sort of rework, which they have in a way, but just, like it's something to keep an eye on. And so there are definitely proposals that will probably come in the future along these lines. So I think that's worth it. I think that's still time well spent with regards to this topic. So. Okay, DNA, do you have a good minutes on that one? Does that make sense?
Honestly, no.
Oh, okay.
I have nothing.
Oh. Well, we've got the transport. We've got the transcription.
What's?
I'll go through and listen to that again and type that up after the GSM.
Did you understand what I just said though? Like, does that make sense at all, or?
Yeah, I just completely forgot to type.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll go through, listen back through to that after and write that all up. So don't worry.
Okay, cool. All right, so there's no formal rule changes or anything like that, but it's we're not going with either Vicky or my idea. It's more, you want to make road changes? Yes, that's pretty much TLDR. All right, I think we're going to bring this topic to a close and then this GSM, but there is one last topic. Yes, we're finally updating to 121.4 on Monday. That is my planned date. Hopefully nothing bad will happen or anything that will delay that. Yes, be sure to update your clients and client mods. Make sure that they work with this version. What else did I say? Yeah. The main server will be down for about an hour. It's not a terribly big update, though there are quite a few things to change around. And on top of I'll be doing that in the morning on my time, and then in the afternoon I will be adding DNA's Train Cards Ticket Shop plugin, as well as the curve building plugin, which we were just talking about roads.
Yay!
Yay! we'll be adding those two plugins onto beta server, and then it might take a while for me to set them up, but those can be tested out, and then watch the announcements and beta announcements for information on that. Okay. If there's any question, well, I don't know if anyone has any questions about that, but this is the end of the meeting. Are there trustee meeting notes?
I think Zeech has a question.
There are, yes.
Yes, I know. Zuch has a question about the airport changes. Okay, so I can swear last year we didn't have that many community issues, but for some reason there's a lot of community issues that are in limbo right now. Usually the process is they eventually do get to GSM, or if there's something solid, they do get to GSM. If not, they just sort of wither and die. The airfield one, at least that one specifically, that one, I'm a little bit reticent on bringing it to GSM because it seems like there's a lot of different opinions about it, and even including not doing any changes as well. And given how complicated it's gotten, I'm not enthusiastic about it. So if you guys can figure out a more just a solid proposal that tries to answer as much questions as possible, then we can discuss that at that. But yeah, as Alpha said, that one's, if you think these topics are bad, that one's going to be.
I'm not looking forward to that one.
I don't know. Well, yeah. So, like, I'm almost kind of tempted to just say no to it completely, maybe not deal with it, because again, the main concern that Sodium or whoever brought up that thread is realism, which is a valid concern, but how do you do that? That's the question. So,
I feel like you could also get around it in your governor airport.
Yeah, and the fact is, we're only talking about senator airports at this point, so that's kind of like,
True.
I don't know.
That's for next GSM. Please
Yeah.
not torture us yet.
Okay, so yeah, I will make a decision on just please continue discussing that in that committee issue, and if I get it for even not just for that topic, for other topics, if I get a sense that the topic feels like it's good enough for GSM, then I will jump in and promote it to whatever the next GSM is. Okay, where are the trustee notes? Please subject us to pain.
Okay, time to leave the meeting.
Elite. Oh yeah, he's putting his hand up. He's putting his hand up. How do?
Great.
How do I? I always.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Here we go.
Elite. It's your show now. Oh, wait, we can't hear you if your mic is on. I don't see your mic on Discord here. Elite?
Hello.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
I was hoping your mic would be broken, but okay.
All right. Well, this presentation brought to you in living color on NBC. The MRT Trustee Association's meeting for the 9th of February 2025, held at Frozen's big-ass building on the southwest side, which is our new headquarters. Nominations: number 1, Danny's Dog for trustee, passed 4-0. Number 2, the Honorable Barack H. Obama, 44th President of the United States, for trustee, passed 4-1. Number 3, the sitting Polish president, whose name I cannot spell, for trustee, passed 4-0. Number 4, Mutsumi Wakaba, who has gone through everything, for trustee, passed 4-0. Number 5, Speaker's motion, the death of liberal internationalism, for trustee, failed 0-4. Number 6, a tin of Danish all-butter cookies for trustee, passed 3-0. Number 7, Godzilla tram for trustee, passed 5-1. Number 8, the sports conglomerate ACF Fiorentina for trustee, passed 3-1. Number 9, Ben 6331 for trustee, passed 3-0. Number 10, the GSM voting board, an affiliate of the Big Board trademark for trustee, passed 4-0. Moving to general business, motion to endorse the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl LIX, which I believe is 59, held on February 9th, 2025, passed 4-1, not counting voter fraud. Go Birds. Number 12, motion to insert the trademark symbol into Zuja's name, passed 3-1, not counting voter fraud. Number 13, motion to recognize Jared Goff and Dan Campbell as NFL MVP and Coach of the Year, respectively, passed 4-0. Go Lions. Number 14, motion for Intra to be certified as the official transit provider of the trustee meeting, denied because Clipper. Number 15, an illegal notion with an N for AP Red to not be recognized as a staff member within the realm of the trustee meetings, denied because voter fraud. They're not sending their best. I won this election by a lot. Number 16, motion to provide the people attending the trustee meeting, including the treasonous with a capital T staff member, with cakes provided by Sumugi Kotanuki, passed 6-0. The trustee from Utopia noting his objection to the cake for treasonous staff members. Number 17, motion to investigate the sign stealing in the University of Michigan football program, denied for no. Motion to adjourn 6-0, and let me just pull up our invocation here. I, the Honorable Elite Neon, Speaker of the MRT Trustee Association, and Keeper of its Great Seal, hereby certify this document as the unjust and manifestly undemocratic will of the MRT Trustee Association and its Speaker. And remember, if you don't hawk to her, I don't talk to her. Sincerely, Elite Neon.
I still maintain it was voter suppression, not voter fraud.
We don't ask questions about the trustee meeting.
You shouldn't. You don't. You will not get answers.
Do not.
Oh, I apparently have launched into space, everyone. Goodbye. All right.
Yeah,
Alright, go to General 1.
Well, I was actually going to say...
No, we're not done. Hold on.
Have those levitation potions, don't smash them on villagers, please.
Oh, Jesus. And now the transcription bot just caught up finally with Elite's
Yes.
rambling.
Elite, if you're listening to this, for future things, please pause, turn the microphone off between items. Because the transcription bot doesn't seem to get to work until after the utterance. Until after the mic is down.
Yeah. Yeah. Frozen's just reading. Frozen just said, "What did I read?" Yes, indeed. Okay, so we're not complete. We're not. One last thing. Q&A. If anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, blah blah blah, non-trustee meeting related things, this is time to ask.
Sorry, Fred wants to speak as well.
Oh, sure. Go for it, DNA.
Oh, no, sorry, Fred wants to speak.
Oh, Fred. Fred, is this another dry joke? What is this? Oh no.
No, this is a genuine question, Frumple. Wow. Wow, the faith of the people here is outright ridiculous and frankly offensive. Just because I want to talk doesn't mean I'm going to tell them along.
You know your history, Fred. You know your history, Fred. Every time we've asked you to talk, it's probably some... Just ask your question.
Okay. And this is a very, very strong, genuine question, and I would like a very serious answer, please.
Sure, maybe.
Okay, so a number of years ago, the Seattle Symphony was doing Beethoven's Ninth under the
hell
baton
no.
with Milton Keynes. At this point,
Okay, I didn't kick who. I don't know who did that, but
Who was that?
I didn't do anything. Okay. Oh, Fred wants back in. Okay, let's just let Fred do his thing because we let Elite do it.
Oh, and Katie also wants to.
Oh, okay. All right, Fred could get okay.
Okay. Where was I cut off so rudely? Okay, so you need to understand two things about this symphony, right? Number one, there's a long segment in the symphony where the bass violins don't have a thing to do. Not a single note for page after page. Number two, there used to be a tavern called D's 400 right across the street from the Seattle Opera House, rather favored by local musicians. Now, it had been decided that during this performance, after the bass players had played their parts in the opening of the night, they were to quietly lay down their instruments and leave the stage rather than sit on their stools looking and feeling dumb for 20 minutes. Like, come on, that's ridiculous, right? Once they got backstage, someone suggested that they trot across the street and quaff a few brews. After they had downed the first couple of rounds, one said, "Shouldn't we get back? It would be awfully embarrassing if we were late." Another, presumably one who suggested this excursion in the first place, replied, "Oh, I anticipated we could use a little more time, so I tied a string around the last pages of the conductor's score. When he gets down there, Milton's gonna have to slow the tempo all the way down while he waves the baton with one hand and fumbles with the string of the other." So, if they had another round and finally returned to the opera house, a little tipsy by now, what would happen, right? What would happen? But, as they came back on stage, one look at their conductor's face told them they were in serious trouble. The conductor was furious. And why not? After all, it was the bottom of the ninth. The score was tied, and the bases were loaded.
Huh?
The bases were loaded, everyone.
Ha.
I didn't get it. Sorry.
It's a really good joke. It's a really good multi-pun about orchestra and puns and sports, and it's really funny if you get it. I swear.
Hey, Missa, since you're an orchestra person, how would you rate that joke? 2 out of 10 at best. See?
Okay.
I think you just offended every classical.
Katie has a question.
Okay. Well, thank you for your contribution, Fred. Also, remember to. Oh, yeah.
Okay. One serious question. Okay.
Are you? Look, Katie's waiting. Don't let her wait.
Did you hear? Did you hear about the one about the bicycle that couldn't go up the hill?
Okay, you can share that in. Okay, I'm gonna remind everyone this is not comedy night. This is the general staff meeting. There's a time and place for it. So, all right, Katie, it's your floor.
All right, so I have a question I'd like to ask, and in the interest of full disclosure, I would like to note that this question is sponsored by Intra. So, if you were to fly on an intra-air flight between Seggville and Alekna Bay, would you prefer to fly in the nice, luxurious style of business class, the nice, luxurious style and comfort, or would you prefer to save with Intra-Air's bonus deals with value economy class seats, the lowest airfares of any airline in the industry?
Business.
Okay, that's an interesting answer, DNA. I'm also a business class person, partly because I own the airline, so I fly free.
I'm also a business class person because my girlfriend owns the airline.
Yes, you get to fly free because of nepotism.
I think I get to fly.
Oh yes, HVT also gets to fly free because of nepotism. Oh, and also because HVT is the CEO of a closely allied company.
I feel like I just listened to an ad, but okay.
Yoshi has his rating.
I mean, I did specify. I mean, hashtag ad and all that, but
Oh, okay, that's true.
my question is sponsored by Intra.
Okay. Thanks for your contribution, Katie. I guess we can bring Yoshi in, and I'm gonna keep this going until who is
hi Chief.
Who is this?
What?
Why are you in here?
Why is Chief here? No, Chief is not here yet.
Hi, Chief.
Bye, Chief.
Okay, Yoshi, go for it. I don't hear mic is working. I don't see the glow. It's not glowing green on Discord here. Fred, I think you offended Missa. You should apologize to Missa about that joke. Yoshi, we still can't hear you, so not sure what's going on there. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know. Do you want to bring Chief as the intermission? I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore.
Hi, Chief.
Hello, Chief. Apparently, this is the comedy. This is a stand-up comedy right now. I don't know.
Chief,
your
you're
mic's
live.
not working either.
Oh, everybody's mic's not working. Oh no! Oh no! I guess the GSM's over. Oh no!
Chief, you are live. Oh no! Oh no! There he is.
Oh, okay. Can we go now? Come on.
Save big money at Menards, that's all.
Well, yeah, we know that. We knew that already. Okay. Yoshi, now Discord's not. It's still not showing your mic glowing up there. So there's something. I think you might check your Discord settings, perhaps. If this is a serious question, you could also type it out. That is also an option. Katie is raising her hand again. I don't know if I want to oblige. No, come on.
Okay, so this question is sponsored by Intra. If you were trying to get to Verdstrand, is there any? What would be the URL in order to access IntraRoute Online, the service that allows you to get anywhere on Intra's network lightning fast with the fastest route possible? I'm planning a trip to Verdstrand, and I was just wondering.
Can we please get this?
Would it be felineholdings.com/intraroute?
Yeah, you're right. It would felineholdings.com/intraroute. It's funny because I'm already in Verdstrand.
Okay.
This GSM is not sponsored. Not sponsored.
Hey, the GSM is not sponsored, but I'm sponsored.
I'm also sponsored.
I am sponsored too.
Same.
Okay. All right. Let's go to general chat. This GSM is over. Just to go back to Yoshi's question, here's what he wanted to ask: is a taco a sandwich or a hot dog? I think it's just a taco. It's its own category in its own right.
It's a dumpling.
That doesn't make any sense.
Bye-bye.
Anyway, get out of here.
The general.
Yep.
God damn it.
Get out of here.